Hey guys, it's Alice Lockhart. Welcome to my brow routine video. These are just my go-to brows, everyday brows, just nothing fancy, tried and true. The brows that never let me down. These brows always got my This is just what I do when I know I want to have brows and I know that I don't want them to look like shit. If you want to see how I do it, then let's get started. First, I'm going to brush my brow hairs up with some soap. Yep. I like the soap brow technique. My eyebrows kind of grow in weird and non-symmetrical, so the soap helps keep them in place. This is just some regular clear soap from the dollar store. It smells like shit, but surprisingly hard to find clear soap. Anyway, so I just take this and a little bit of setting spray. This is the e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set, and I just spray a little bit with the setting spray, and then I take a little spoolie. I got these from eBay. They're super cheap. They came in a big pack, and so I just get a little bit of the soap on there. You don't want it to be soaking wet because I've already got my base on, obviously, and I don't want to wash off any of my foundation. Basically, then we just brush our hairs in the direction that we want them to go. So if you want them to go up, brush them up. If you want them to go sideways, brush them sideways. However you want the hairs to go, just do that. I kind of do a combination of up and sideways. So all of our hairs are brushed into place, and we're just gonna let that dry for a minute or two before we move on to the next step. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Next step is to fill in the brows, and the product that I like to use is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow Pomade in Ebony. This stuff is great, a little on the expensive side, but it will probably last you years, so I think it's worth it. And the brush that I like to use is actually this little paintbrush from Michaels, and it cost me like $2, maybe $2.99. Thin and flat at the tip, flexible but not too flexible. You don't want your brush to be too stiff. Here are some of the other eyebrow brushes that I have that really just don't work that well. These two are super fat, but that's not gonna get you a nice line. So this is from Michaels. I highly suggest going over there and getting some little detail brushes because they're cheap and they work great. So I get a little bit on my brush, and to be kind of specific, I just start right here. Not right here, but that's gonna put way too much product up at the beginning of the brow. So I start a little bit over. So I start by doing the bottom line and then the top line. And when I'm drawing, I'm twisting it. I feel like that's really key. To get the kind of curves that you want, you kind of twist the brush. Then just filling in. Once I have the outer portion how I like it, I will start to create the fade at the front. There's practically no product on the brush right now, and so I just kind of gently start filling in. A good technique when you get more product, don't just go right there and draw a line, because doesn't look very natural. If you have the product right on the brush and it's your first mark that you're gonna do, try and just maybe follow the way that your hair is naturally growing. Worst case scenario, if you're a little heavy-handed, it'll just look like a hair. Towards the front of the brow, I will just turn the brush so that it's upright like that and kind of flick upwards, because that is the direction that these hairs go. And I'll just show you guys how I do this one too, just because these are two totally separate brows. Like, my brows are super unsymmetrical. I used to actually just straight shave both my eyebrows completely off because I was so annoyed that they weren't like perfectly even. I don't recommend doing that. Just kind of start out in the same spot and just draw that first line on the bottom. And then I'll do the top. And I have a mirror sitting right in front of me so that I can look straight forward, and that's how I can tell if they're symmetrical or not, to the best of my ability. And when the brush barely has any product left on it, you can start creating that fade toward the front of the brow. Next step is optional, but if you want to crispen up the underline, or maybe you overdrew and you want to fix something, I will go in with a little concealer brush like this, and almost always have a little bit of extra foundation from doing my face. So I'll just dip in and get the tiniest little bit of foundation, just carefully fix up any mistakes. This is also a good opportunity to cut off the tail. If you made the tail too long, you just kind of drag out. And the last step is optional as well, but I like to go in with a black mascara. So this is just the Maybelline Colossal Volume Express mascara. A brown mascara would work well for this too. And I scrape off a decent amount because I don't want any of that getting on my skin. This way the brows look a little bit more 3D, especially in the front, and help them stay in place. If you do happen to get a little bit of mascara on your face, don't try to fix it right away, just let it dry. And then once it's dry, you can kind of flick it or scrub it off with a clean spoolie. And there you have it. There are my go-to brows. I tried to get them as close to even as possible, but what's weird is when I go like this, one is going and the other one's like going down. Like, why? They look fine like this though. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, or if you enjoyed it, even if it wasn't helpful, maybe you just enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.